Authorities say he didn't have a relationship with anyone here at the LA Fitness Center, but he did have a schedule at home with the Latin Impact class circled. Lindsay Davis, ABC News, Bridgeville, Pennsylvania.
In New York, we should hear for the first time today from the man whose wife was drunk when she drove the wrong way on a major highway. Diane Schuler, her daughter, and 6 others were killed in the accident last month. Her family has issued a statement defending Schuler as a dedicated wife and mother, but family members of the other crash victims are demanding answers.
Because we have never known Diane to be anything but a responsible and caring mother and aunt, this toxicology report raises more questions than it provides answers for our family.
It's hard for me to believe that the family did not know that this woman had an alcohol problem or a drug problem.
The toxicology report showed Schuler was not only drunk but had smoked marijuana no more than an hour before the crash.
Japan is marking a somber anniversary. It was 64 years ago today, during World War II, that the U.S. dropped an atomic bomb on Hiroshima, killing an estimated 140,000 people. ABC's Margaret Connolly is in Tokyo with details.
In Tokyo, people gather at Yasukuni Shrine, the most controversial shrine in Japan. For some, it is a place to pay homage to those who died serving their country. For others, it is a burial place for war criminals and a reminder of Japan's militarist past.
In a solemn ceremony, tens of thousands of people gathered in Hiroshima to mark the anniversary of the dropping of the atomic bomb. A peace bell was rung the minute the bomb hit, 64 years ago. The crowd fell into silent prayer in remembrance of the 140,000 people who were killed at the end of World War II. As survivors and victims' families listened, Japan's leaders spoke. Hiroshima's mayor urged leaders to back the stance of the United States. We join President Obama in activities to eliminate all nuclear weapons. The prime minister spoke in support of survivors. Japan is the only country in the world that was victimized by the atomic bomb. The sufferings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki shall not be repeated, and we devote ourselves to the abolition of nuclear weapons and realization of world peace.
In Tokyo, people gather at Yasukuni Shrine, the most controversial shrine in Japan. For some, it is a place to pay homage to those who died serving their country. For others, it is a burial place for war criminals and a reminder of Japan's militarist past.
A past Japan hopes people remember today, as it calls out for a world free of nuclear weapons, a pledge the country sees as a minimum responsibility for future generations. Margaret Conley, ABC News, Tokyo.
The Senate is set to make history this afternoon. Voting on Judge Sonia Sotomayor's Supreme Court nomination. Most Republicans say they will vote against her, but with a Democratic majority on her side, Sotomayor's confirmation is virtually a done deal. Once she's approved, the New York native will become only the 3rd woman and the first Latina to sit on the high court.
Also today, the Senate has reached an agreement to pump more money into the Cash for Clunkers program. Senators are expected to vote today to add $2 billion to the plan. That would give car buyers until Labor Day to trade in gas guzzlers for a $4,500 rebate. The administration estimates another 500,000 cars will be sold because of the deal.
Another day of cleanup today in Louisville, Kentucky, 2 days after the city was swamped by rapidly rising floodwaters. What a mess as homeowners pump waterlogged basements and tow away damaged cars. The drenched University of Louisville reopens classes today. 6 inches of rain fell in a single hour Tuesday, knocking out power and forcing thousands from their homes. Well, now here is a look at your Thursday forecast. Thunderstorms in every western state affecting Denver, Boise, and Albuquerque. Hail, flash floods, and a chance of tornadoes from Idaho to Nebraska. High fire danger from Arizona to Washington. Showers and thunderstorms up and down the East Coast.
A high of 80 in New York, 77 for Baltimore, 91 in Atlanta. Indy climbs to 84. Detroit will be 77, and St. Louis is 88. 76 for Sacramento, 87 in Colorado Springs, and 96 in Salt Lake City.
Well, it is time now for some good, clean, exhilarating fun. It doesn't cost a dime.
Sounds like my kind of fun. It's taking place at a park in Grand Rapids, Michigan. A couple set up a 240-foot-long slip and slide, and then they invited neighbors, thrill seekers, everyone who wanted to come on out and enjoy the ride for free. And as you can see, dozens of people showed up as word of the freebie spread on Facebook.
I never looked that graceful doing that. The couple say they wanted to show their community a good time and prove there are still ways to have fun without spending any money.
I think I saw some moobs in there.
Ew.
Scary. We'll be right back with more World News Now.
World News Now weather brought to you by Bosley Medical.
When it comes to going bald, you now have a choice. Advances in medical science have resulted in the world's first and only permanent solution to hair loss.
It is your real hair. It's your natural hair. You wash it, you cut it, you swim with it.
Bosley is the world's most experienced hair restoration experts, having pioneered virtually every major advancement in the art and science of hair restoration.
I'm very satisfied, very happy with what I've done. This has got to be one of the best decisions I've made in my life, I'll tell you that.
Bosley Hair Restoration is a relatively simple outpatient procedure. The results look completely natural, and it's affordable on nearly any budget. Call the toll-free number now to receive your free, no-obligation information kit that will help you decide if hair restoration at Bosley is right for you. You don't have to accept going bald. Do something about it right now.
Call 1-800-750-6401. That's 1-800-750-6401. Call now.
Retailers don't want you to see the information about to be disclosed.
Hi, I'm Tony Galata. This is my wife, Carrie Galata. This is our house, my wife's dream house. And we furnish most everything in this house with products from Direct Buy. We purchased the breakfast table and chairs. We looked at that table in some other places.
They ran around $3,500 and we picked it up for around $1,500.
If you're building, remodeling, or simply redecorating a room, there's now a way to buy virtually everything you need at prices you never imagined possible.
We've saved, I think, well over $20,000.
Just on our kitchen alone, we saved almost $10,000.
It adds up to about a $30,000 to $40,000 savings overall.
Call the number on your screen now to receive your free insider's guide to buying direct. Plus, you'll also receive a free visitor's pass for an exclusive tour of your local Direct Buy showroom. Call right now to get started buying the Direct Buy way. Stop paying retail and become part of Direct Buy, the private members-only showroom and design center. Don't wait another minute. Pick up the phone and call now.
I'm back, baby!
Millionaire returns to primetime in 3 days.
It'll be tense. It'll be thrilling. It'll have all the ingredients you loved about the original, including me.
The Millionaire primetime event starts Sunday, 8/7 Central on ABC.
They've put all their hopes and dreams into one big idea.
America's next greatest food brand.
I am here with my clothing company.
I will work till this dream is a success.
But they need 5 self-made millionaires putting up their own money to make it happen.
What are you looking for? $2 million?
What? From the executive producer of Survivor.
I would need 50% of the company.
Every dream comes with a price.
I've made you a good offer. What are you going to do about it?
ABC's Shark Tank. Series premiere Sunday, 9/8 Central on ABC.
Welcome back. The World Health Organization releases new information today about the availability of the H1N1 swine flu vaccine. Swiss drug maker Novartis says it has started testing its vaccine on volunteers in London. Since the WHO declared swine flu a pandemic, drug companies have been racing to ship vaccines earlier than planned.
Lynette Squeaky Fromm, who tried to assassinate President Gerald Ford, is being paroled later this month. Fromm aimed a pistol at the president during his visit to Sacramento back in 1975. Secret Service agents grabbed her and the president was not hurt. Fromm, who was a follower of Charles Manson, was sentenced to life but became eligible for parole 25 years ago. Former Louisiana Congressman William Jefferson is facing 150 years in prison after a federal jury in Virginia convicted him of bribery and money laundering.
Jefferson's attorneys say they plan to appeal, but prosecutors insist the evidence against Jefferson is convincing. Viviana Hurtado joins us now from Washington with the details. Good morning, Viviana.
Good morning, Jeremy and Vanita. Jurors return to the courthouse in the morning to consider whether Jefferson has to turn over the more than $450,000 in bribes he allegedly received.
Okay. Yeah.
Federal prosecutors used audio and this surveillance video as evidence to convict former Congressman William Jefferson on bribery, racketeering, and money laundering charges.
Probably somewhere in the vicinity of about, $500K up front, not more than that.
The Louisiana Democrat, whose district includes parts of Katrina-ravaged New Orleans, was accused of accepting more than $400,000 in bribes to help broker business deals in Africa. Prosecutors say he also tried to hide the money. He faces up to 150 years in prison. The video shows Jefferson in some of the most exclusive hotels and restaurants in Washington.
Can I get it put in this right here? Yes, you can keep it in there if you like. Would you like to take a peek at it or whatever?
This video is from a July 2005 meeting where Jefferson is seen accepting a briefcase from businesswoman Lori Modi. $100,000 of marked FBI bills are inside.
Hope you enjoy that briefcase.
I hope the briefcase, I will. I like that. I need a briefcase.
That's great.
During a raid in 2005, federal agents who were executing a search warrant found $90,000 in his freezer. Jefferson plans to appeal the convictions. Jeremy and Vanita.
Viviana, thanks. And, Jefferson has claimed for a long time now that he was basically set up by an FBI sting. His lawyers consented that it was stupid for him to accept the cash, but the fact that he instead hid the money in his home proved that he was innocent. So, how about that? When we come back, the unforgettable Julia Child.
As Hollywood tells the celebrity chef's story, we will look back at some of her many memorable television moments. You're watching World News Now.
There she goes.
ABC's World News Now will continue after this from our ABC stations.
Diamonds. The Jewelry Exchange has thousands. Half-carat to 2-carat solitaires are $299 to $19.90. 1-carat studs $399. Large fancies and GIA ideal makes all guaranteed the lowest price. The Jewelry Exchange in Bethesda.
When was the last time you felt refreshed, encouraged, inspired? Hear an uplifting message. Straight talk with real hope. Each week on ABC 7 from Pastor Mark Jeske on Time of Grace.
Are you ready for some good news? I hope you'll join us this week for Time of Grace.
Watch Time of Grace with Pastor Mark Jeske every Sunday morning at 7:30 on Washington's ABC 7.
Washington is a place where cultures and continents converge. It's a window on our world. Washington is a place where cultures and continents converge. It's a window on our world. To learn more about our international neighbors, log on to WJLA.com, keyword global. ABC 7 celebrates our global community.
Hollywood screenwriter Bud Schulberg has died. His On the Waterfront won 8 Oscars. It included that famous line spoken by Marlon Brando, "I could have been a contender." Schulberg was the son of a movie mogul, yet wrote the Hollywood tell-all book, What Makes Sammy Run, and outed colleagues as communists during the McCarthy hearings. Bud Schulberg was 95 years old.
When the movie Julie and Julia opens tomorrow, America will be reintroduced to the woman who brought French cooking to our kitchens, Julia Child.
Yeah, many people came to know Julia Child for the first time on Good Morning America, where she was a contributor for the better part of 2 decades. So we are going to the ABC News Vault this morning for a taste of Julia on GMA during the 1980s.
One of the most magical things in cooking is the making of an omelet, and we are so lucky today to have with us one of the great magicians of cooking, Julia Child, to explain how any of us, and I repeat, how any of us can make an omelet.
Pull it towards you. As you pull it out there, boom, jerk it towards you, jerk it towards you.
Oh, I see, like this.
See? There, you see when they're...
Oh, yeah, they come up.
Now don't, remember, jerk towards you.
Little edgy,
No, you're still. No, let me do that again.
Okay, show me.
It's out there. Jerk towards you. Jerk towards you. And when all of the beans turn over by themselves, you've got it.
Oh, when they all. Okay, I'm practicing jerking. Here I am.
It has a kind of a mucus coating, is what it really is. You have to scrub it. These are the edges of the wings which don't have much meat on, and that gets trimmed off, and then we come up here into a kind of a bony section, and that gets trimmed off. This, of course, your fish store would do, but if at home, tongue.
There she goes.
Japanese proverbs say, "He who has pleasant experience of tasting something he has not eaten before, his life will be extended by 75 days." Part of the fun of eating sushi is the etiquette. First, you're given a hot towel and you wipe your hands thoroughly on it. Many people think that it's food like this that helps give the Japanese such good health and long life, and it is delicious. When I was living in Paris and learning cooking, my old French chef told me how to make big old store-bought peas absolutely delicious. And here's the secret, because sometimes they can be as hard as bullets, but in this way you'll just find them delicious. You'll start out with half a teaspoon of salt. I've got about 3 cups of peas here. And then some lettuce leaves. Those are shredded lettuce leaves. Some peas here. And then some lettuce leaves. Those are shredded lettuce leaves. And then 2 or 3 tablespoons of minced shallots or scallions, and about 2 tablespoons of butter, and then a little bit of sugar. And the reason for that is when you've got old peas, you need a little sugar to give them that fresh taste, because the sugar in old peas turns to starch. Most Italian women make their own pasta, and Carla Caraglia is no exception. Buongiorno, Carla.
Buongiorno, signora.
What are we making today?
Tortelli di erbetta.
Tortelli?
Di erbetta.
Di erbetta?
Sì.
Carla tells me it's very important to get all the water off, because there's any liquid on it, it dilutes the flavor of the butter and cheese. Now, first, cheese on. Now, this is a good point. And then the butter on, and the cheese makes the butter stick on. Oh. And this is the local light sparkling wine of the region, Lambrusco, from Parma. Julia Child, buon appetito. Twice a year, an amazing event happens. It's called the Palio. The competition is festive, but very serious. The rule's simple. Each district chooses a horse and jockey, then it's 3 times around the square. Riders falling off, confusion, excitement. It seems crazy. Maybe you have to be from Siena to appreciate it fully.
I'll pour some for you, and then I will pour some for myself, because I must toast you.
That looks lovely.
Julia, it's been a pleasure.
It's been a great pleasure.
Certainly the predecessor to Emerald and Rachel Ray and everyone else that we think about.
Paved the way.
She certainly did. And you will be able to learn to cook with Julia all over again as we go back into the vault to show you some of her classic cooking segments from Good Morning America. Funny stuff.
That's right. Stay up late, get up early with us, turn on the TV in the kitchen, get ready to master the art of French cooking all over again or for the first time. And as Julia would say,
Bon appetit.
yours is better than mine.
I am a girl.
And you're going to see the movie.
I am. I can't wait this weekend. Of course, Julie and Julia out on Friday, right?
And we'll have a full review next Monday. Papers coming up.
When morning comes in the middle of the night, it affects your entire day. To get a good night's sleep, try 2-layer Ambient CR. The first layer dissolves quickly to help you fall asleep. And unlike other sleep aids, a second dissolves slowly to help you stay asleep. When taking Ambient CR, don't drive or operate machinery. Sleepwalking and eating or driving while not fully awake with memory loss for the event, as well as abnormal behaviors such as being more outgoing or aggressive than normal, confusion, agitation, and hallucinations may occur. Don't take it with alcohol, as it may increase these behaviors. Allergic reactions such as shortness of breath, swelling of your tongue or throat may occur and in rare cases may be fatal. Side effects may include next-day drowsiness, dizziness, and headache. In patients with depression, worsening of depression, including risk of suicide, may occur. If you experience any of these behaviors or reactions, contact your doctor immediately. Wake up ready for your day. Ask your healthcare provider for 2-layer Ambient CR.
Retailers don't want you to see the information about to be disclosed.
Hi, I'm Tony Galata. This is my wife, Carrie Galata. This is our house, my wife's dream house. And we furnish most everything in this house with products from Direct Buy. We purchased the breakfast table and chairs. We looked at that table in some other places.
They ran around $3,500 and we picked it up for around $1,500.
If you're building, remodeling, or simply redecorating a room, there's now a way to buy virtually everything you need at prices you never imagined possible.
We've saved, I think, well over $20,000.
Just on our kitchen alone, we saved almost $10,000.
It adds up to about a $30,000 to $40,000 savings overall.
Call the number on your screen now to receive your free insider's guide to buying direct. Plus, you'll also receive a free visitor's pass for an exclusive tour of your local Direct Buy showroom. Call right now to get started buying the Direct Buy way. Stop paying retail and become part of Direct Buy, the private members-only showroom and design center. Don't wait another minute. Pick up the phone and call now.
Day 87, and Tyler B is still in that aisle, determined to find the answer for his acne.
Kid, get a life. I'm trying. But the truth is, acne, even when it's mild, is a medical condition.
Huh?
Medical as in doctor?
And that's how Tyler came to his senses, sort of, and learned about once-a-day prescription Epiduo Gel. If you're not getting the results you want, ask your doctor about Epiduo, 2 of the most doctor-prescribed acne-fighting ingredients in one gel medication, a product you can't get in the acne aisle. Dryness, redness, peeling, stinging, burning, or itching may occur. Don't use irritating products when using Epiduo. Overexposure to sun lamps, extreme wind, or cold may increase the risk for irritation. Use of sunscreen and protective clothing is advised. Go to truthaboutzits.com and learn how to pay no more than $20 for your Epiduo prescription.
Awesome.
To learn more about Epiduo Gel, talk to your doctor, call, or go to truthaboutzits.com.
World News Now delivers your morning papers.
So I've been giving Jeremy a lot of grief for his new look, the mod look with the skinny ties
I have a tie bar. Let me bust that out.
Oh, that will only add to this next story. Apparently, I'm not the only woman out there who's not really a fan of this metrosexual look.
This isn't metrosexual. This is just cool.
The story says that there was a survey. Why waste a beat on that one?
Yes.
That there was a survey. Why waste a beat on that one?
Yes.
A survey of about 5,000 women that was done in London, they found that 80% of women consider metrosexual traits, including hair straightening, frequent sunbathing, to be turnoffs. In fact, they prefer real men who drink beer, have bellies, and hairy chests were also mentioned.
Pete, you're in. Head to the UK. But we should say, women like the beer bellies, but this study was sponsored by an ice cream company with a vested interest in guys with beer bellies or big bellies.
Beer belly is not the same thing as ice cream. You gain weight all over.
Big gut. They're like, hey, have a big gut.
I think that ladies, would you kind of agree? Do you? Will anybody listen to me? Debbie?
No.
Anyone? Don't you guys kind of like men that are a little bit more masculine than metrosexual?
Yeah. We're getting some head shakes.
Nobody cares what I say ever.
Nobody listens to you, Vanita. Crying shame.
Nice tie bar.
Thank you. I'm going to keep it on for the rest of this segment. Keep moving it up so it's more visible.
Makes it even cooler.
Because I'm a manly man. This is a funny story. Willis, it's not that funny.
He's your biggest fan.
Funny story out of Florida. This one sounds too good to be true. A retired fireman burned down his house after chucking away a cigarette as he made love to his wife. He said they were burning up the sheets, literally. He said he was getting busy, those were his words, with his wife when he chucked a cigarette, the mattress caught on fire, and they had to get out of the place. He was stark naked. She was in her underwear. Even the fire department consented that they were spending some quality time with each other when it happened. And now they've lost everything. Not so funny after the fact, but sure would have been a funny thing to see.
That is funny, though. Okay, so here's another one in the news that you're not even going to believe. This story from the Baltimore Sun. So a burglary suspect walks into a convenience store and he's shot. Police shoot him in the head. He's laying on the ground. 30 minutes later, they realize the guy is not dead. They'd assumed he was completely dead. Turns out he was not dead. And they say this is actually a fairly common occurrence. They're saying that a lot of times you come into the situation like this and the pulse is so faint, you have no idea the person is still alive. This guy was, and now it's questions of could he have been better treated had they have noticed.
I wonder if he was wearing a tie bar.
I'm going to go with probably not. Probably not.
asking you if the cries got loud enough. Would you stop to hear? I'm hoping that if you listen long enough, you'll try to stop the tears. Will you be the answer to the call?
Sponsor a child through Child Fund and give a child a voice. When you sponsor a child, you make sure they have good food, clean water, vaccinations, and education. It's these simple necessities that become the building blocks for the future.
Will you make the difference that matters to us all?
For more than 70 years, Child Fund has helped to change the lives of millions of children living in poverty in the U.S. and around the world. So call 800-348-1912 or go to childfund.org and give a child a voice for less than $1 a day. Even half a world away, you'll get to hear your child in the letters you receive. For the millions who've been silenced by poverty, isn't it time you gave one child the chance to be heard? Call 800-348-1912 or go to childfund.org to sponsor a child today.
Wake up with Good Morning Washington, weekdays on ABC 7 News.
Deadly rampage. Police learn more about the man who opened fire inside a Pennsylvania gym.
I saw him just shooting around the room.
The victims, the survivors, and the gunman's motive.
Then, behind the scenes, the American journalist freed from North Korea. New information about the negotiations and how Bill Clinton got involved.
And British buzz, why English city dwellers are encouraged to put up beehives. It's Thursday, August 6th.
From ABC News, this is World News Now.
Apparently there's a bee shortage, and that's a bad thing.
I can't imagine putting one in my backyard, though. It'd be a little scary.
There might be one around here.
Oh, got it. Good job.
All right.
Good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm Vanita Nair.
I'm Jeremy Hubbard. More serious news for the first part of this half hour. The gunman who went on a deadly rampage in a suburban Pittsburgh gym had no criminal record and no known history of mental illness.
But in a chilling online diary, George Sedini detailed his raging hatred of women, claiming he had been rejected by 30 million of them. John Berman has more from Bridgeville, Pennsylvania.
Police say 48-year-old George Sedini wanted to kill women here.
Someone was shooting a gun inside the gym. It was surreal.
And there is nothing anyone could have done to prevent it. At around 8 p.m., 10 minutes into the Latin Impact dance class, Sedini walked into the back of the room wearing gym clothes. Around 8 p.m., 10 minutes into the Latin Impact dance class, Sedini walked into the back of the room wearing gym clothes. He unpacked his bags, turned out the lights, and opened fire. Chaos. He fired 3 handguns 36 times, leaving 3 women dead, 9 injured, before shooting himself. Killed were Heidi Overmeyer, 46, Elizabeth Gannon, 49, and Jody Billingsley, 37. Lisa Mill and Stacy Falk survived.
I saw him just shooting around the room, and that's the image that's
going to stay. I think that'll stay with us forever.
It's an image Sedini, a systems analyst at a law firm, had been conjuring for more than a year, described in an extraordinary, murderous online blog. Why do this to young girls, he asks? Just read below. Girls and women don't even give me a second look anywhere. There is something blatantly wrong with me. No girlfriend since 1984, no sex since July 1990.
He clearly resented the women who had rejected him, or resented women in general because they weren't willing or able to have a relationship with him.
Patricia Cohen was a neighbor.
I never knew he was that bad off. I would have invited him over more.
In November 2008, he says, planned to do this in the summer, but figured to stick around to see the election outcome. Then in January, he says, I chickened out. I brought the loaded guns, everything, hell. But on his 3rd trip to the gym of the day and after run-throughs on Monday, he did it. His last line is simply, death lives. The irony here is police say they're not even sure whether anyone read George Sedini's lonely blog. The FBI is looking into that right now. They say if someone had read it, they should have reported it to authorities, and maybe something could have been done to prevent this attack. John Berman, ABC News, Bridgeville, Pennsylvania.
Journalists Una Lee and Laura Ling are waking up on American soil for the first time in 4 months today. There was an emotional family reunion yesterday in Southern California after the women were freed from captivity. Their release was the result of intense behind-the-scenes negotiations, but Lee and Ling say they knew nothing about it.
Suddenly, we were told that we were going to a meeting. When we walked in through the doors, we saw standing before us President Bill Clinton. We were shocked, but we knew instantly in our hearts that the nightmare of our lives was finally coming to an end. And now we stand here, home and free.
It appears that Hollywood producer Stephen Bing was a major contributor in the ride to freedom. He supplied the plane and is picking up the fuel tab, which is said to be at least $100,000. The fuel tab, which is said to be at least $100,000.
The diplomatic efforts to win freedom for Lee and Ling began right after they were arrested for crossing the border into North Korea. Senior foreign affairs correspondent Martha Raddatz takes us behind the scenes.
The secret negotiations begin on March 17th, the day Laura Ling and Una Lee are seized by North Korean border guards. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton and President Barack Obama order all appropriate steps taken to secure the journalists' release.
Secretary Clinton is engaged on this matter.
But the timing is terrible. April 5th, the North Koreans launch an intercontinental ballistic missile. Laura Ling and Una Lee become pawns in a dangerous standoff. June 8th, it gets worse. The two journalists are sentenced to 12 years of hard labor.
We think that the charges against these young women are absolutely without merit or foundation.
U.S. officials urgently work back channels with help from the Swedish ambassador to North Korea. In mid-July, a breakthrough. But not because of diplomats. Ling and Lee are allowed to call home. They tell their families that North Korea will free them if President Bill Clinton comes to get them. Kim Jong-il sees Clinton as a charismatic and powerful force who will attract worldwide attention. Clinton's former vice president, Al Gore, who the North Koreans had rejected as an emissary, reaches out to Clinton. July 24th, National Security Advisor Jim Jones outlines the mission to Clinton, making clear it will be strictly to pick up the journalists, not negotiations on nuclear issues. 9 days later, after determining through a variety of sources that the mission will end in success, Bill Clinton leaves the U.S. for North Korea, and within hours of his arrival, the stunning ending. Martha Raddatz, ABC News, Washington.
Also on Capitol Hill, the Senate has reached an agreement to pump more money into the Cash for Clunkers program. Senators are expected to vote today to add $2 billion to the plan and give car buyers until Labor Day to trade in gas guzzlers for a $4,500 rebate. The administration estimates another 500,000 cars will be sold because of the deal.
Lots of people cashing in on that. All right, here's your Thursday forecast. Thunderstorms likely in every western state. How about that? A chance of hail, flash flooding, and tornadoes from Idaho to Nebraska and the Dakotas as well, and high fire danger from Arizona to Washington state. Showers and thunderstorms for much of the East Coast.
80 in Boston and New York, and 91 in Atlanta. Upper 70s in Chicago, Detroit, and the Twin Cities. St. Louis climbs to 88, Dallas 101, just 71 in Seattle, 82 in Boise, and 93 in Albuquerque.
All right, close the
82 in Boise and 93 in Albuquerque.
All right, close the refrigerator door. Go back to the couch, sit down, and watch your TV, because this is crazy video horsepower like you've never seen before. A collision involving a Colt and a car.
Tourists in northern Israel captured this bizarre video of 3 horses that galloped right onto the highway. Wow. Unbelievable. You could see there one of the horses jumped over an oncoming car, smashing the windshield, and just kept on running. The horse and the driver suffered only minor injuries, unbelievably.
Yeah, good thing the driver almost stopped the car, as you can see right there, before the impact, or this story could have had a much different ending. That horse could have been en route to the glue factory even as we speak. But a much happier outcome. How about that?
I watched that collision 2 or 3 times, and it's still shocking every time.
I think we just watched it about 6.
And I'm keeping on watching.
There's number 7. See, I told you. Get out of the kitchen. It was worth it, wasn't it?
Now you can go back to the kitchen.
That's right.
But come back after this break.
Yeah.
World News Now weather brought to you by the Scooter Store.
Attention, all Medicare beneficiaries who need assistance getting around their homes. There is a Medicare benefit that may qualify you for a new power chair or scooter at little to no cost to you. Stay tuned for this important Medicare benefit information and free scooter guarantee. Imagine one scooter or power chair that could improve your mobility and your life. One Medicare benefit that, with private insurance, may entitle you to pay little to nothing to own it. One company that can make it all happen.
Great news. Your power chair will be paid in full.
The Scooter Store. Why should you call the Scooter Store today? Because their mobility experts are also Medicare experts. And that means the Scooter Store is your best shot at qualifying for a scooter that costs you little to nothing.
Hi, I'm Dan Weston. At the Scooter Store, more than 91% of our Medicare customers pay little to nothing out of pocket. How do we do it? We know what it takes to get you your scooter or power chair. It's our strength, it's our mission, and we back it up with this free scooter guarantee. If we pre-qualify you for Medicare reimbursement and Medicare denies your claim, we'll give you your new power chair or scooter absolutely free.
I paid into Medicare all my life, and when I needed it, the benefit was there for me. The Scooter Store made it so easy.
I didn't pay a penny out of pocket for my power chair. Medicare and my insurance covered it all.
The Scooter Store got me back out into the world again, and they're some of the nicest people you'll ever talk to.
There is a Medicare benefit that may qualify you for a new power chair or scooter at little to no cost to you.
Call the Scooter Store for free information today.
Improve your mobility and your life. Call 1-800-495-4125 for your free, no-obligation information from the Scooter Store. Find out if you pre-qualify for Medicare and insurance payment on a brand new power chair or scooter. That number again is 1-800-495-4125.
Do you have a structured settlement from a lawsuit or an annuity? Even if you are getting monthly checks from a structured settlement or annuity, debt can still pile up. If you're struggling to make ends meet, it can feel like you have nowhere to turn. Peachtree can help you turn your structured settlement or annuity into cash now. Cash you can use to pay off debt, make important purchases, or avoid foreclosure. Get the money you need now.
To find out how, call Peachtree today at 1-800-444-8237.
In 3 days, I'm hosting a special 11 Nights of Millionaire.
ABC Sunday.
President Obama visited economically hard-hit Indiana to announce major funding for clean energy cars. Nearly $2.5 billion in economic stimulus money will go to create advanced batteries, electric vehicles, and 10,000 jobs.
And huge reserves of the key ingredient in those batteries actually come from a remote spot in Bolivia, South America. Jeffrey Kaufman takes us there.
Under this vast sea of blinding white, the largest salt flats in the world may be the key to a greener planet. Right now, the only people you find on the remote Uyuni Flats are desperately poor salt gatherers. But there is something much more valuable here: lithium, more than half of the world's known reserves. You've heard of the new generation of electric cars that will soon be on the market? They will run on lithium batteries.
There's no way that's going to be supplied without accessing Bolivia's reserves. So Bolivia has the potential to be the Saudi Arabia of lithium.
The lithium battery is far lighter, more durable, and holds a charge much longer than any other. They've figured out the science, but as the auto industry looks towards the electric car, the challenge is finding a supply, which is why the world is now looking here at the salt flats of Bolivia.
And so, in one of the most remote places on Earth, Bolivia has begun building what they hope will ultimately be the largest lithium extraction plant in the world.
It's like a lake under the salt.
Belgian scientist Guillermo Rolens is technical advisor to the Bolivian government.
Where do you actually find the lithium in here? Is it in this salt crust here?
No, not at all. This is just salt, like table salt. The lithium is in the brine, in this liquid.
Water here?
In this water. This water is saturated in different salts, and one of them is lithium.
Extracting the lithium is remarkably simple. Build huge evaporation ponds and let the hot sun separate the lithium from the salts. It could bring riches to Bolivia, but they have heard that here before with silver, gas, oil. Yet this remains the poorest country in South America. It's different this time, says the plant manager. These profits will America. It's different this time, says the plant manager. These profits will stay in the country. If Bolivia can make this work, this vast sea of white could offer this poor country a richer future and the planet a greener future. Jeffrey Kaufman, ABC News, Uyuni, Bolivia.
Fascinating look, isn't it?
Unbelievable. I had no idea.
I didn't either. All right, well, coming up, millions of fans watched her, perhaps waiting for something unexpected to happen.
Now, Paula Abdul's not returning to American Idol, the decision, and some inside information. You're watching World News Now.
ABC's World News Now will continue after this from our ABC stations.
Washington is a place where cultures and continents converge. It's a window on our world. To learn more about our international neighbors, log on to WJLA.com, keyword global. ABC 7 celebrates our global community.
Ooh, I like this. Take another one. Oh, look, there's more. There's more. Yes, yes, yes. Woohoo! Yeah!
Like getting a discount? You're going to love Mattress Discounters. It's our super coupon sale. Save up to $300 on select twin, full, queen, and king mattress sets. Plus double coupon savings on memory foam. Save $400 on queen sets. The difference is the discount.
Mattress Discounters!
Got dry, cracked skin, ringworm, jock itch, psoriasis, athlete's foot? So many cures for one little price. Blue Star, now with soothing aloe.
I'm Leon Harris, and I am always on your side.
Terror at a Pennsylvania health club, and GMA is there. First to identify the gunman. First with eyewitness accounts. First to expose his online diary. And this morning, breaking new details inside the bizarre mind of the gunman. Only on Good Morning America.
These things doesn't mean they're going to happen.
Too bad we're not back in Denver today because I could try out. They're having auditions for the 9th season of American Idol starting today in Denver.
And I wouldn't be the only one that gets to share in that joy of him singing all the time.
I could share it with the world. But in Denver, Paula Abdul will not be there as a judge.
People still cannot believe this. Abdul announced the move in a single Twitter message, leaving everyone wondering about the details. Cynthia McFadden reports.
It was the late-night tweet heard round the world. And today, the entertainment shows were buzzing.
Paula Abdul is out of American Idol.
It appears Paula's saying bye-bye to Idol.
Paula Abdul quits American Idol.
Fox issued a statement saying they are, quote, saddened that she has decided not to return to the show. Even the show's host, Ryan Seacrest, who reportedly just signed his own 3-year deal with Idol for a staggering $45 million, said on his KISS FM radio show this morning he didn't see it coming.
So, the news that Paula Abdul is leaving American Idol stunned me last night. I was shocked.
In fact, the negotiations may have come down to the wire, as the show's chief protagonist...
One of you didn't get the right...
and Abdul's on-screen sparring partner...
Sorry, Chris, I have no idea what that meant.
He shops in women's.
Anyway.
No, he doesn't.
No worries.
Chris,
Paula! Simon Cowell said only 2 weeks ago on Extra... Paula was staying.
Should be fine. Should be on the show.
But she's not. The nice judge, the one who always had a kind word for contestants, is out.
There's no doubt America is loving you right now.
Was it money? Reports about Abdul's salary have varied widely, with claims she's made as little as $2 million and as much as $4 million a year.
She's trying to make it like it was all negotiations, it was about money, it was about other things. And really, this was just about her and producers not wanting to work with her anymore.
It was only 4 months ago that I sat down with Paula Abdul in Los Angeles for a rare exclusive interview. It was toward the end of the Idol season, and Paula made it clear she wanted to stay.
So do you want to stay on the show or not?
I love the show. I do. I love what I do on the show. And I'm loving it more this season than ever. It's taken a while for me to get comfortable in my own skin with this show.
8 years, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, it's finally on my last year under contract, I'm having the best time of my life.
This is American Idol.
Some industry experts believe producers are taking a big risk in changing a winning cast. So why did she leave?
Because of her erratic behavior, saying things that made her seem very out of it and sort of under the influence of something.
David, you are ridiculous. I want to squish you, squeeze your head off, and dangle you from my rearview mirror.
All of these things contributed to her just not being worth the price that she was asking for.
I asked her about her behavior when we talked back in April.
So let me just ask you the question straight up so we have it absolutely crystal clear. You have not abused prescription pills?
Never. Never.
You have not consumed alcohol before going on the air?
Never. I've never been drunk in my life. I don't like, it's not my thing.
Back in April, we also talked about this year's new judge, songwriter Kara Diaguati.
All right, boo, boo, boo.
Abdul said she did not think Diaguati was brought in to replace her. But the way she was hired may indicate a rift was building between Paula and Idol producers.
So were you consulted before they added the fourth judge?
Well, yes. You want to know when? I just got out of the hospital this past August. I had 3 days to pack and go on the road. I found out on the way to the airport.
To the season's auditions?
To go to the first city.
Were you mad?
I thought that, respectfully, all of us as a group maybe we could even figure this out together.
Further indications of a strained relationship between Paula and Idol producers surfaced when an obsessed Abdul fan, she says a stalker, was permitted to audition. She says over her objection.
I don't think any artist on earth could sing with that much metal in your mouth anyway. You have so much metal in your mouth.
Could I do another song to show you something different?
No.
The woman committed suicide last fall in front of Abdul's house. Paula talked to Barbara Walters a few weeks afterwards on her Sirius radio program.
I said, this girl is a stalker of mine, and please do not let her in. And there were people, everyone knew, I mean, I was shaking. And they thought it would, for entertainment value.
Who's they?
Producers.
You mean they put you in peril because it would be fun?
Fun for them to cause me stress.
Did you warn the show that this was someone who'd been stalking you?
I'm not at liberty to speak about this right now because it's still an ongoing police investigation. It's tragic. There will be a day when I can talk about it. There will be a day. I just can't do it now.
That day may be coming soon.
You know, love her or hate her, I don't think the show will be the same without her.
Completely different.
And there's so much buzz leading up to this. Will she come back? Will she not? TMZ says that her new manager said prospects looked dim about a month ago. He says they made an offer, she refused it, there was a counteroffer, and that's what led to the tweet.
And I read rumors last night that NBC is looking to snatch her up. So we'll see if any of that's true. More news coming in.
Here's some health information for people over 50. Maybe you don't think you're at risk for heart attack or stroke. But if you've been diagnosed with PAD or have pain or heaviness in your legs, I want to talk to you. You may have heard of poor leg circulation, which could be peripheral artery disease or PAD. With PAD, if you have poor circulation in your legs, you may also have poor circulation in your heart and in your brain. And that can more than double your risk for heart attack or stroke. Now ask yourself, am I at risk? If you're not sure, call for this free information kit. Now ask yourself, am I at risk? If you're not sure, call for this free information kit to learn more.
Call 1-888-300-5422 to find out what the risks of PAD really are. You'll find a 7-point checklist that helps you understand what could be putting you at risk. If you have symptoms, you'll learn how treating symptoms is different from reducing your risk. You'll also learn about lifestyle changes and treatment options that can help reduce your risk for heart attack or stroke. There's even a doctor discussion guide for you to bring to your doctor that can help you discuss PAD together. Call 1-888-300-5422 for your free information kit today.
The risk is real. Take the first step. Call today.
Through the years, many things pass from father to son, like Aqua Velva Aftershave. Smells great, cools, firms, and tones. Cool. Aqua Velva, men get it.
Retailers don't want you to see the information about to be disclosed.
Hi, I'm Tony Galata. This is my wife, Carrie Galata. This is our house, my wife's dream house. And we furnish most everything in this house with products from Direct Buy. We purchased the breakfast table and chairs. We looked at that table in some other places.
They ran around $3,500 and we picked it up for around $1,500.
If you're building, remodeling, or simply redecorating a room, there's now a way to buy virtually everything you need at prices you never imagined possible.
We've saved, I think, well over $20,000.
Just on our kitchen alone, we saved almost $10,000.
It adds up to about a $30,000 to $40,000 savings overall.
Call the number on your screen now to receive your free insider's guide to buying direct. Plus, you'll also receive a free visitor's pass for an exclusive tour of your local Direct Buy showroom. Call right now to get started buying the Direct Buy way. Stop paying retail and become part of Direct Buy, the private members-only showroom and design center. Don't wait another minute. Pick up the phone and call now.
Through the years, many things pass from father to son, like Aqua Velva Aftershave. Smells great, cools, firms, and tones. Cool. Aqua Velva, men get it.
And he told us what he saw, and it's easy to see. It's going by the book. It's going by the book.
Done rocking out there?
I am.
All right. Finally, this half hour, scientists are scratching their heads about what's happening to the honeybees. Colonies are disappearing, and they're putting crops at risk.
The growth of cities may be the reason they are being driven out. Now some English cities are inviting them back. The BBC's David Schuckman reports.
Inside our beehives, something is going wrong. British bees are in trouble. For years, researchers have been trying to help them, and now a possible answer has emerged. From somewhere really unexpected, right in the middle of a city. This is a new kind of plastic beehive, and its designer thinks our urban nation should keep bees on rooftops and balconies.
You've got 60,000 bees up here and a school right next door. Is it safe?
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely safe. The bees themselves, as you can see, are quite docile and friendly. They're really interested just in maintaining their honey stores and seeing themselves through the winter. They're not generally interested in people.
So could city bees really help? Well, overall, numbers are down by as much as 15% in the last 2 years. Out in the fields, this new urban initiative is welcomed because bees are so useful to our food supplies in ways many people might not realise.
Well, it's said that the honeybee is responsible for 1 in 3 of every mouthfuls that we eat. Imagine a pizza that, without the influence of the bee, you probably wouldn't be looking at any tomatoes on it or olives.
So will beekeeping catch on? Well, the ancient Greek philosopher Aristotle praised their virtues. The former Prime Minister David Lloyd George kept some. And the Hollywood star Scarlett Johansson has just been given a hive. But what about bees in cities? Well, this stuff was gathered within 3 miles of this very urban setting. So the big test: how does this city honey taste? Very unusual, quite distinctive, and actually very good. So from a country garden to the skies of our cities, bees could be heading for a comeback. David Schuckman, BBC News.
And it's not a problem exclusive to the UK. There was a recent survey that there's about a 29% decrease in the number of bees here in the U.S., too. You're shivering. It sounds like there's one.
No, it feels like there's bees in here. Don't you hear it?
That sound effect is a little scary. But the shortage means higher honey prices, fake honey replacements.
I'm sorry, I'll pay attention to you now. Maybe I won't.
Diamonds at their lowest prices in years. The Jewelry Exchange imports direct from site holders and pays cash. The leading website gets them on Memo. Compare half-carat solitaires $2.99, marquee and pairs $3.99. 1-carat solitaires are $5.90 to $15.90, 2-carat $19.90. Certified white SIs are $7.90 to $2,900. We have thousands of diamonds, including D Flawless, Ideal Makes, and guaranteed the lowest price. Plus thousands of settings to choose from. Buy factory direct and save. The Jewelry Exchange in Bethesda.
People all over are experiencing a bigger, better, and faster Cricket Wireless. One with the latest phones and a fast 3G network. And they're experiencing it. One with the latest phones and a fast 3G network. And they're experiencing it for even less than before. Hurry in today, and for a limited time, you can get unlimited talk, text, pics, 411, and mobile web for just $40 a month. You get all that plus nationwide coverage included. As always, Cricket has no contracts to sign or overages, and it's America's most affordable 3G network. Just call 1-800-354-1973, click mycricket.com, or come into a Cricket store today and take advantage of this limited time offer. Just $40 a month for a bigger, better, and faster Cricket. Hurry in today and take another look at Cricket and see how your wallet gets a little... Right now, save $100 on the new touchscreen Moto Evoke. Just call, click, or come into a Cricket store today. Get respect for your wallet. Cricket.
Because there is no such thing as a small detail. Because the whole is the sum of its parts. Because everything really does have its place. And because good enough isn't good enough. For you, the right way is the only way. The more exacting you are, the more you'll appreciate next day blinds. Designed, built, and installed to be exactly right.
If you love animals, you don't want to miss this hour. Tomorrow's Oprah.
Emotional reunion. The two American journalists held captive in a North Korean prison.
Yuna and I would just like to express our deepest gratitude to President Clinton.
Their homecoming and how Bill Clinton helped.
Then terror at the gym, the gunfire, the victims, and a disturbing motive after a shooting rampage in suburban Pittsburgh.
And Putin's physique. The rugged Russian prime minister can barely wait to show off his vacation snapshots. It's Thursday, August 6th.
From ABC News, this is World News Now.
Mr. Putin trying to prove he's a manly man.
He is, though. He's pretty buff.
Yeah, and he's almost reached the average life expectancy for a man in Russia, so he's got to prove that he's virile still.
Looks it to me.
Guess so. We'll see much more of that skin coming up this half hour. Stick around for that. Good morning. I'm Jeremy Hubbard.
And I'm Vanita Nye. Well, freed journalists Yuna Lee and Laura Ling are enjoying family time after 4 months being held in North Korea.
The women arrived home yesterday in California to a joyous reunion and hearts full of gratitude. Here's Kate Snow.
They waited 140 days for this, the joy of reunion captured by a 4-year-old skipping to greet her mother. Yuna Lee's daughter Hannah had been asking for her mother all these months. Her father kept telling her, "Mommy's on a business trip." Laura Ling's mother couldn't stop hugging her, stroking her arm, beaming. Just a day before, her daughter had been Just a day before, her daughter had been a prisoner in North Korea, condemned to 12 years of hard labor.
Suddenly, we were told that we were going to a meeting. When we walked in through the doors, we saw standing before us President Bill Clinton. We were shocked, but we knew instantly in our hearts that the nightmare of our lives was finally coming to an end.
His mission accomplished, President Clinton left the talking to former Vice President Al Gore, who founded Current TV, where the women work.
Your families have been unbelievable.
unbelievable.
Neither woman gave any details of their ordeal, but U.S. officials are certainly looking forward to hearing their story. President Obama said he was extraordinarily relieved.
The reunion that we've all seen on television, I think, is a source of happiness.
To our loved ones, friends, colleagues, and to the complete strangers with the kindest of hearts, we could feel your love all the way in North Korea. It is what kept us going in the darkest of hours. It is what sustained our faith that we would come home.
According to Laura's sister, Lisa, the two women were kept in separate places most of the time that they were in North Korea, making it all the harder. A spokeswoman for the families tells me they're not sure what they'll do next at this point. They're just a little overwhelmed and need some time. Kate Snow, ABC News, Los Angeles.
And we are learning more about the secret negotiations which resulted in Lee and Ling's release. Secretary of State Clinton and President Obama ordered all appropriate steps to be taken to secure their freedom months ago.
Secretary Clinton is engaged on this matter right now. Our view, given the circumstances, is that the less we say about this publicly, the better for those parties concerned.
Then came a breakthrough in mid-July when the North Koreans said the woman would be freed if President Clinton would come to get them. Experts say Clinton's rock star status helped deliver the prestige and status that North Korean leader Kim Jong-il was looking for.
Well, healthcare reform tops President Obama's agenda today. He's hoping to sell key lawmakers on his plan.
But with or without bipartisan support, the president insists he is going forward, arguing that overhauling healthcare will also help stabilize the economy. Viviana Hurtado has more now from Washington. Good morning, Viviana.
Good morning, Jeremy and Vanita. In a few hours, the president meets with members of the Senate Finance Committee to push for health care reform. In a few hours, the president meets with members of the Senate Finance Committee to push for health care reform, something he did yesterday while in the heartland. Part pep talk and campaign speech, the president plugged his stimulus plan when he unveiled grants worth almost $2.5 billion. The money will go to build electric vehicles and, says Mr. Obama, will create tens of thousands of jobs.
I don't want to have to import a hybrid truck. I want to build a hybrid truck here. I don't want to have to import a windmill from someplace else. I want to build a windmill right here in Indiana.
The president was in Elkhart County, Indiana, at an RV plant in a recession-ravaged part of the country. At 17%, unemployment here is almost twice the national average. Mr. Obama needs Americans like the ones here to buy into his economic policies and then his proposal to reform the healthcare system.
I promise you, we will pass reform by the end of this year because the American people need it. The American people need some relief.
But as lawmakers such as New York Democrat Tim Bishop head home for their summer break, they're expected to hear from constituents. Some are anxious about the impact an overhaul to the healthcare system will have on their futures and the national debt. Others are outraged.
The Democrats are all pushing this, they're shoving it down our throats. I understand her anger.
Anger the White House accuses conservative groups of manufacturing, anger that some political watchers say is real. The White House says a website is being developed where what they call misinformation about health care reform can be exposed and corrected. Jeremy and Vanita.
All right, Viviana, thanks. Former Louisiana Congressman William Jefferson is facing 150 years in prison. A federal jury in Virginia convicted Jefferson of accepting more than $400,000 in bribes and seeking millions more to broker business deals in Africa. Jefferson had been under investigation in 2005 when the investigators found $90,000 stashed in his freezer.
Lynette Squeaky Fromm, who tried to assassinate President Gerald Ford, is being paroled later this month. Fromm aimed a pistol at the president during his visit to Sacramento in 1975. Secret Service agents grabbed her and the president was not hurt. Fromm, who was a follower of Charles Manson, was sentenced to life but became eligible for parole 25 years ago.
The World Health Organization releases new information today about the availability of the H1N1 swine flu vaccine. Swiss drug maker Novartis says it has started testing its vaccine on volunteers in London. Since the WHO declared swine flu a pandemic, drug companies have been racing to ship vaccines earlier than planned.
Two Boston window washers are back on solid ground after a harrowing ordeal 37 stories high. They were busy washing windows in the city's financial district when their scaffolding broke. They were trapped, dangling upside down for about 20 minutes until firefighters managed to rescue them. They were a bit shaken, but neither was seriously injured. Dangling upside down for about 20 minutes until firefighters managed to rescue them. They were a bit shaken, but neither was seriously injured.
I can understand the shaken part. Here's a look at your weather. Thunderstorms up and down the west coast today. Severe weather could threaten Idaho, Montana, Nebraska, and the Dakotas. I should say East Coast. Thunderstorms up and down the East Coast. Gusty winds and lightning could increase the fire danger from Arizona to the Pacific Northwest, and thunderstorms also from Florida to New England.
90 in Miami, 91 in Atlanta, and 77 in Baltimore. Chicago and Minneapolis are just shy of 80, while Omaha climbs to 83. A blistering 111 in Phoenix, 96 in Salt Lake City, and 75 in Portland.
Well, Louisville, Kentucky is getting all revved up for a sizzling good time.
More than 10,000 colorful hot rods are rolling into town from all over the country for the 40th annual Street Rod Nationals. The eye-catching, highly customized roadsters were all made before 1949, then rebuilt and modified.
The event is the largest of its kind, draws tens of thousands of spectators, and brings in about $15 million. Makes
Pretty
me
cool
want to sing
cars.
"Grease is the Word."
Save it for the break. We'll be right back.
World News Now weather brought to you by Direct Buy.
Retailers don't want you to see the information about to be disclosed.
Hi, I'm Tony Galata. This is my wife, Carrie Galata. This is our house, my wife's dream house. And we furnish most everything in this house with products from Direct Buy. We purchased the breakfast table and chairs. We looked at that table in some other places.
They ran around $3,500 and we picked it up for around $1,500.
If you're building, remodeling, or simply redecorating a room, there's now a way to buy virtually everything you need at prices you never imagined possible.
We've saved, I think, well over $20,000.
Just on our kitchen alone, we saved almost $10,000.
It adds up to about a $30,000 to $40,000 savings overall.
Call the number on your screen now to receive your free insider's guide to buying direct. Plus, you'll also receive a free visitor's pass for an exclusive tour of your local Direct Buy showroom. Call right now to get started buying the Direct Buy way. Stop paying retail and become part of Direct Buy, the private members-only showroom and design center. Don't wait another minute. Pick up the phone and call now.
Day 87, and Tyler B is still in that aisle, determined to find the answer for his acne.
Kid, get a life. I'm trying. The truth is, acne, even when it's mild, is a medical condition.
Huh?
Medical as in doctor?
And that's how Tyler came to his senses, sort of, and learned about once-a-day prescription Epiduo Gel. If you're not getting the results you want, ask your doctor about Epiduo, 2 of the most doctor-prescribed acne-fighting ingredients in one gel medication, a product you can't get in the acne aisle. Dryness, redness, peeling, stinging, burning, or itching may occur. Don't use irritating products when using Epiduo. Overexposure to sun lamps, extreme wind, or cold may increase the risk for irritation. Use of sunscreen and protective clothing is advised. Go to truthaboutzits.com and learn how to pay no more than $20 for your Epiduo prescription.
Awesome.
To learn more about Epiduo Gel, talk to your doctor, call, or go to truthaboutzits.com.
In 3 days, I'm hosting a special 11 Nights of Millionaire.
ABC Sunday.
Welcome back. The gunman who killed 3 women and injured 9 others at a Pittsburgh area gym did not know any of them, it turns out, but seems to have hated all women.
He wrote about that in an online diary where he detailed his violent plans. In our American Landscape coverage from Pittsburgh station WTAE.
This is Channel 4 Action News at 11 o'clock.
Good evening, Pittsburgh. New at 11 o'clock. A girl standing next to the suspect as he pulled out his gun tells her harrowing story.
But first, new word from a young man who ran in to help after hearing the shots and the screams, giving CPR to not 1, but 2 victims.
Channel 4 Action News reporter John Greiner. This young man doesn't want to be called a hero.
He was reluctant to speak to us, but we thought it was important to illustrate what many people showed in the face of danger last night. If not heroism, certainly bravery. Tony Jury hugs his mother in front of LA Fitness, where he was working out last night when he heard the gunshots.
I tried looking in the room from about 10, 15 feet away,
I saw gun flashes going off at about chest height. More screams. A woman ran out, blood on her arms, leg. Looked like she got shot in the leg.
When the shot stopped, he thought the gunman had run out the back door.
Immediately jumped into somebody's vehicle out front, asked them if they could drive around back real quickly to see if we seen somebody running with a gun, and if so, let's run them over.
He'd go back into the aerobics room to find the victims on the floor.
I started CPR on 2 different women that were, blood was everywhere. They were just laying in their own blood. They were motionless. Their eyes were fully open. It's just something you just don't want to see. I really feel bad for their families, because just at that time I was thinking their families have no clue that they just went to go work out, and now they're gone.
Jury says police and paramedics arrived in a hurry, and he and others who did CPR only tried to help.
If I would have saved the people by, say, attacking the attacker and getting his gun, or wrestling the ground or something like that, then I'd be a hero, but I'm just a good Samaritan, that's all.
Tonight, 24 hours after the deadly health club shooting, there are answers to some of the questions.
Yeah, how he did it, why he did it, and who he is. Channel 4 Action News reporter Bob Mayo explains what police have uncovered.
County police are uncovering new details about George Sedini's explosion of hatred, new insights into how he committed this crime and why. Investigators confirmed something festering for months inside George Sedini led to this, chaos and horror as he opened fire on a crowded room of women.
He's had the hatred in him. He blames everybody, his mother and everything else, society.
Police reveal Sedini brought 4 guns into the club, emptying all of one and most of a second 9mm semi-automatic before using the third weapon, a .45, to kill himself.
He shot at least 36 times. He had clips of ammunition that held 30 rounds, which prior to 2004 were illegal to possess.
He brought well over 100 rounds. His blog and notes found by police reveal months of planning, days and hours of rehearsal.
He had practice runs at the LA Fitness Center. He had been there before. From the investigation, it showed that yesterday he was there 3 times, starting at 11:40 something in the morning.
Investigators describe Sedini's hatred of all women, but was there a plot against any one victim that triggered this attack?
We do not believe that. We do not believe any woman that was shot or anybody that we interviewed said they had any type of relationship with this man.
We keep everyone that was affected by these shootings in their prayers over the next couple of days, weeks, and months, because this is going to be a long recovery for a lot of people.
With Sedini's determination and planning, police believe he was unstoppable.
In our opinion, there's nobody that was in that club that could have did anything to prevent Sedini from committing this horrendous act.
George Sedini was a computer expert, and he set up his blog so the only way you could access it was by entering the date of his death.
Months before Tuesday night's shooting, George Sedini was planning it and writing about it. He was ready to go in January, but says he chickened out after bringing loaded guns to the gym. By May 5th, he was ready to try again, saying he had started to drink after 20 years to take the edge off his exit plan. August 3rd, Monday, he took the day off to practice his routine and make sure it's polished. He said he needs to work out every detail because there's only one shot. He wrote, "Maybe soon I will see God and Jesus." As for his blog, he said, "I will not be embarrassed because, well, I will be dead." He also wrote bitterly about his family. "Thanks, Mom and brother and Dad, old man, for totally ignoring me." His parents divorced in 1981. Team 4 caught up with his father, George Sr., at his home in Butler County.
What can you tell me about your son?
I got nothing to say.
How do you feel about what happened? It must be awful.
I have nothing to say.
In his blog, Sedini says his pastor told him. How do you feel about what happened? It must be awful.
I have nothing to say.
In his blog, Sedini says his pastor told him he could commit mass murder and still go to heaven. After the shooting, Pastor Rick Knapp told police that's not what he said. And like many others, the pastor was very upset and shaken after reading Sedini's blog. Paul Van Osdal, Channel 4 Action News.
What a horrible question for a father to have to answer.
Yeah.
It's a very sad story also in the sense that they're saying now that the gym instructor, the person who was instructing that class, had just announced to everyone that she was pregnant.
Right.
And she was shot twice, and she should be okay, sort of a miraculous story that she's going to be fine. But to think from that high to what was about to happen.
Horrible. This blog is so disturbing. The idea that maybe nobody was even reading it, or else we would have known. There would have been some warning sign. Somebody could have stopped this. But again, nobody may have been reading it. How sad and ironic.
What a disturbed man, though.
All right, when we come back, the skinny, a bigger bank account for Kevin Federline.
That's right, and idle time for Paula Abdul. Your skinny starts in just a minute.
ABC's World News Now will continue after this from our ABC stations.
Wake up to a better day with Good Morning Washington. Doug and Allison's first look at news from your neighborhood. Brian's forecast every 10 minutes. Plus Lisa Baden, Queen of the Commute. Wake up with Good Morning Washington. Weekdays 5 to 7 only on ABC 7.
When was the last time you felt refreshed, encouraged, inspired? Hear an uplifting message. Straight talk with real hope. Each week on ABC 7 from Pastor Mark Jeske on Time of Grace.
Are you ready for some good news? I hope you'll join us this week for Time of Grace.
Watch Time of Grace with Pastor Mark Jeske every Sunday morning at 7:30 on Washington's ABC 7.
I thought I'd interviewed just about everybody until I met Brutus.
My first bear on Skype.
If you love animals, you don't want to miss this hour. Next, Oprah.
Oprah, today at 4 on ABC 7.
Why don't you want to come be a part of our skinny?
We wanted Pete to come get involved in this big, bold, beautiful shot that we were just taking, and he
said no thanks.
Hey, Ryan Seacrest is bummed about this Paula Abdul news. He's really sort of upset about this. Ryan's not happy. He went on his radio show on Kiss FM in Los Angeles and said, the news shocked me. I was stunned. He said, she's a dear friend. I love her to death. I'm sad this came to fruition. Friends were asking him, look, is this a publicity stunt? And he says, as far as I know, it's real. And she's decided to leave. They said, what would you say to her if you could say anything? And he said, Paula, please come back to Idol. But you heard me mention.
I believe him.
Yeah,
I believe that they were friends.
Well, it sort of feels like, wow, is this the beginning of the end? I mean, we had this really successful run for a long time. The team stayed together, and now everything's changing, and will this mark sort of a turning point? In for a long time, the team stayed together, and now everything's changing, and will this mark sort of a turning point in the show? You may be wondering if that's what's going through his mind. But I said earlier that NBC has shown interest in her. Paul Teldaji, who's an executive over there, basically said, look, she's a great talent. I'm not saying anything's in the works, but we would love to take a look at her.
Great talent. Those are interesting words for that situation. So Kevin Federline, I feel like we've shown so many pictures of an overweight Kevin Federline on this show, and we're going to show you some more.
Yeah.
But the good news is that a company has actually approached him, and they're offering him a 7-figure deal to endorse a new weight loss product. This weight loss product is called EP2, Extreme Physical Performance, and the rumor is that they've offered him $2.5 million to become the new face of the fat-burning pill, and it's supposed to be in 1,400 GNC stores. So far, there's no confirmation, but apparently in getting ready for his new show, in and of itself, he's on a strict high-protein diet, so he's supposed to shed about 45 pounds for that.
If he could lose the banner there, it doesn't look that bad. I mean, just
this is a good. Have you seen other pictures of him though? No. This is a good picture of him.
Just sort of looks like he swallowed a basketball or something. It's just in that one spot.
There are pictures of him with his kids at Disneyland, and he has like not one but 2 ice cream cones in his hands, and I think some other things.
Well, it's been a rough few years. Speaking of pictures of celebrities, we got some more of Vanessa Hudgens. We're not going to show them because we can't, because she's not wearing any clothes, and it seems to be a recurring theme with the High School Musical star. You may remember back in 2007, a batch of pictures showing her nude made their way online, and at the time she was upset. She's like, this is tough, I'm a private person, this is so mean. Well, apparently there are other pictures, new pictures, separate pictures, and they are online as well.
Separate, they're not from the same shoot session.
Apparently not full frontal, topless again, and we know they're real because her lawyer contacted Perez Hilton and said, hey, take those pictures down. They were taken when she was underage. So basically confirmation that these are her. And you wonder what Zac Efron's got to say about all this.
Wow. I didn't see that one coming.
He's probably checking his hair.
He does have great hair. Last but not least, these are some really great pictures, so take a look. Susan Boyle is getting made over. She's going to be in the new Harper's Bazaar cover. It's really interesting. She's, of course, busy recording her debut album, and she looks fantastic. She says,
look great.
In response to the two questions everyone wants to know, has she been kissed yet? No, she has not, and she's doing fine after the whole meltdown.
She looks great.
In this box is what I need to control my diabetes, to stay healthy, and get on with my life. It comes from Liberty Medical. And now, it's not only where I get my diabetes testing supplies, but it's where I get my prescription drugs as well. See, if you're on Medicare, the cost of your diabetes testing supplies, as well as your prescription drugs, may be covered. Liberty takes care of all the paperwork with Medicare and sends the prescription forms directly to your doctor for approval. Then on your schedule, packs up this box and sends it right to your door with no charge for shipping.
Liberty assures you have everything you need to manage your diabetes, including most brand name meters. Call now and we'll send you a free meter, plus a free cookbook when you join.
Call Liberty. They can help you live a better life.
Call 1-800-786-0028. That's 1-800-786-0028.
Attention, all Medicare beneficiaries who need assistance getting around their homes. There is a Medicare benefit that may qualify you for a new power chair or scooter at little to no cost to you. Stay tuned for this important Medicare benefit information and free scooter guarantee. Imagine one scooter or power chair that could improve your mobility and your life. One Medicare benefit that, with private insurance, may entitle you to pay little to nothing to own it. One company that can make it all happen.
Great news. Your power chair will be paid in full.
The Scooter Store. Why should you call the Scooter Store today? Because their mobility experts are also Medicare experts. And that means the Scooter Store is your best shot at qualifying for a scooter that costs you little to nothing.
Hi, I'm Doug Harrison. At the Scooter Store, 97% of our Medicare customers pay little to nothing out of pocket. How do we do it? We know what it takes to get you your power chair or scooter. It's our strength, it's our mission, and we back it up with the Scooter Store guarantee. If we qualify you and Medicare denies your claim for a new power chair or scooter, I'll give it to you absolutely free.
I paid into Medicare all my life, and when I needed it, the benefit was there for me. The Scooter Store made it so easy.
I didn't pay a penny out of pocket for my power chair. Medicare and my insurance covered it all.
The Scooter Store got me back out into the world again, and they're some of the nicest people you'll ever talk to.
There is a Medicare benefit that may qualify you for a new power chair or scooter at little to no cost to you.
Call the Scooter Store for free information today.
Call 1-800-381-3535 for your free information from the Scooter Store, and we'll also send you this pocket-sized lighted magnifier as our gift. Absolutely free, just for calling. There's no obligation, so call the Scooter Store today at 1-800-381-3535.
Here's some stories to watch today on ABC News. The full Senate votes on Sonia Sotomayor's nomination to the Supreme Court today. She is expected to be approved and to become the first Hispanic justice on the High Court. The Senate will also vote to extend the popular Cash for Clunkers program. They have forged a deal to add $2 billion more to keep the trade-in rebates coming until Labor Day. And President Obama announces plans to overhaul the immigration detention system. The changes will focus on removing immigration violators, not imprisoning them.
And finally this half hour, it's August. Even presidents and prime ministers are on vacation, and Russia's Vladimir Putin is no exception.
Even from the Siberian wilderness, though, Putin is staying on message and flexing his muscle. The BBC's Alan Little got an eyeful.
It is the marketing of muscularity. For brand, Putin projects a certain Russian ideal, the strongman national leader, the frontiersman with the mud of Mother Russia on his boots. He is heroic, fearless, and, important this in Russia, sober. He is the nation's better self, in rippling flesh and blood. It is an ad campaign that makes political use of the prime ministerial pectorals. And it works. Vladimir Putin has understood something profound and fundamental about the Russians, their crying need for stability, for a strong man at the center.
I think that brand Putin works in Russia. I think that the Russians like to see their leaders strong, tough, and sort of caring for the people.
It is a stark contrast, a positive rebuke to what came before. The Yeltsin years, the democratic experiment, are associated now with chaos, poverty and unchecked criminality, and with a leader who had lost control.
We saw these pictures on the internet today. We can see him in different places. He's on holiday just like other people. It brings him closer to us.
We need more pictures like these. In a bar, on the beach, in other places. That would be great.
Under Putin, Russia has retreated from the democracy of the 1990s. Russians have preferred stability and certainty to the chaotic multi-party free-for-all of a decade ago. That is the Putin paradox. For given the choice, Russians have again and again voted democratically for Putin's managed retreat from democracy itself. And that is the enduring power of brand Putin. Alan Little, BBC News.
We should show them what you look like with your shirt off now that you pump iron so often.
Well, since you asked,
yeah.
We've already got a picture.
And here's actually what he looked like before he started lifting the weights, because it was totally different.
Not really.
There he is.
Still looks pretty good.
That's supposed to be an insult.
Oh, it's not.
You're good at your job, but the voice in your head keeps telling you you can do more. Now's the time to build your better future. You know you have what it takes to be a leader. If you want to be the person in charge of the project, enroll in the construction management program at the Westwood College School of Business. For more information, visit westwood.edu today or call for your free career success kit, including salary information. You can get your bachelor's degree in just 3 years. Take career-focused classes from day one from instructors who are working professionals. Free in just 3 years. Take career-focused classes from day one from instructors who are working professionals. They know construction management and will teach you exactly what you need to know to succeed. Take charge of your career. Enroll in the construction management program. But hurry, classes start soon. Call or visit westwood.edu for your free career success kit. Call 1-800-315-1441.
People all over are experiencing a bigger, better, and faster Cricket Wireless. One with the latest phones and a fast 3G network. And they're experiencing it for even less than before. Hurry in today, and for a limited time, you can get unlimited talk, text, pics, 411, and mobile web for just $40 a month. You get all that plus nationwide coverage included. As always, Cricket has no contracts to sign or overages, and it's America's most affordable 3G network. Just call 1-800-354-1973. Click mycricket.com or come into a Cricket store today and take advantage of this limited time offer. Just $40 a month for a bigger, better, and faster Cricket.